welcome you to beautiful and sunny Tampa Bay, Florida, on the water, as Tampa Bay's sun welcomes in the surging Carolina Ascent. Alongside Jade Barquette, I'm Josh Appel. Thanks so much for spending part of your Easter Sunday with us, wherever you may be. As we take a look at the Gainbridge Super League standings as we enter play today, Carolina comfortably in third place, unbeaten in their last 5 matches. And there's Tampa Bay's Sun out of 9th place, creeping up the table. And over the last 2 matches, Tampa Bay, 2 wins, just 1 goal conceded. It's their first time winning back-to-back matches this season. Not a lot of wiggle room for them if they want to make the postseason and defend their crown from a season ago. So far, so good.
And they're peaking at the right time. They have played 2 consistent games where they've played a full 90 together, 2 45s, making that full 90, and that's something that they really needed to do. They've had halves where they've started off games hot, and others where they've dropped off. They've really put it together recently.
So here's what's left for Denise Schilte-Brown and Tampa Bay. 6 games remain, not including today. They'll play Carolina 1 more time, not much wiggle room. Most
of the teams that are ahead of them in the standings are the teams that they are going to be playing, so the fate is really in their hands, and that's what you want at this point in the season.
One of the engines that's been making this Tampa Bay team run over the last couple of games, Sabrina McNeil. She scored a goal against Dallas, her first in the spring.
That goal against Dallas, she actually started and ended that play with the ball in the back of the net. She's going to work in and out of the midfield and forward lines from her defensive position, really threatening and putting more numbers in the box for Tampa.
We talk about how good Tampa Bay Sun have been. Well, how about Carolina? Unbeaten over their last 5, 4 wins, just 1 draw. 4 clean sheets, outscoring their opponents 7-1.
Last year's Shield winners are just peaking at the right time. They have a level of consistency within this team. They trust one another so much and have the belief that within their system of play, they're going to get things done. They're not a tell me why team, they're a show me how, and we've seen that over this stretch of games.
And it is Easter Sunday, so we might as well take a look at the 3 peeps who have been integral in this run over the last 5 matches.
Mia Corbin, 3 goals, 1 assist in the last 5 games. She was last year's team leader in goals with 12, but Tyler Lucy has also stepped into this lineup and really just taken over, using her NWSL experience to really threaten in this Carolina team. And then Sid Martinez holding things down in between the posts, 4 clean sheets in the last 5, only 1 goal conceded. It has to get to everybody to get to her, but she's held it down when she has been called upon.
Well, we hope you've completed your Easter egg hunts and you've settled in around the television, because we have got a great one in Tampa Bay today. 2 teams that are trying to keep their unbeaten streaks going. We'll have lineups and kick between Tampa Bay Sun and Carolina Ascent next.
Clark, amazing at assists. Gainbridge, the ultimate assist for your savings. But ever since they teamed up, she's taken assisting to a whole new level. Clark, great at assists. Gainbridge, great at assists for your savings.
Welcome back to Tampa Bay. Almost time for kick between Tampa Bay Sun and Carolina Ascent. Tampa General is the region's only academic health system, which means at TGH, you have an expert team of doctors and physician scientists collaborating on your care. Tampa General, other hospitals practice medicine. We define it. Josh Appel, Jade Barquette with you on this Easter Sunday as we take a look at today's starting 11s. First for Denise Schultz-Brown at Tampa Bay.
One change in their lineup. Liz Beardsley will make her third start this season. Emery Wegner will be out this game, so a little change in between the posts. And we can never forget about Sid Nasello for this team. Leads team in goals with 6. She's creative, deceptive. She'll draw defenders to slip her teammates in, really around that flank side and into the box as well.
And for last year's Coach of the Year, Phillip Poole and Carolina Ascent, here's how they line up.
One change again for this lineup. It'll be Megan Nally in for Sid Studer, who suffered a lower leg injury. She will be out for the rest of the season. So Meg Nally, she has a ton of NWSL experience as well, will step into this formation. And this is a team that has so many threats up top. We've talked about them in the open, but really have a look out for Shea Groom. She's so deceptive up top on the ball, and it'll be a good test between this back line of Tampa.
A series history between these two clubs over the last 2 seasons. Owned by Tampa Bay. They've got 5 results out of the 6 matches, just 1 loss to Carolina. It came earlier this season, back in March. These two teams will play 3 times in basically a month and a half here in the second half in the spring season. So we're about to get underway from Tampa. The home side, Tampa Bay Sun in the dark blue, Carolina in the white as we get underway. Thanks so much for spending your Easter Sunday with us. Great crowd on hand in this wonderful venue on the water in Tampa Bay. Caitlin Trowbridge is our referee this afternoon at Suncoast Credit Union Field.
There really isn't a better place to play than right here, right on the water. Maybe a little bit windy, so don't want to play the ball too much in the air, but a great place to play a soccer match.
Carolina coming off of a 1-1 draw against Fort Lauderdale, which snapped a 4-game winning streak. Still unbeaten in 5 games in a row. But you dive deeper into that Fort Lauderdale match for Carolina. Almost 3 in expected goals to just .63 for Fort Lauderdale. They had 17 shots, 5 on target. Mia Corbin scored the goal from the spot in the 64th, and then it was a revenge game for Catherine Gonzalez, who equalized in the 82nd minute. And that goal snapped a streak of 499 straight shutout minutes by Carolina. And, I asked Phillip Poole, and the way I phrased the question was, hey, you take a draw, and you're really not going to lose sleep over a draw. But he told us, he goes, not so fast. Like, that almost felt like a loss for us because of how we felt we dominated and the chances that we created but didn't cash in on.
Yeah, he definitely said he lost maybe a few hours of sleep on that because they did create so many chances. They had 45 touches in the opposition box. You said 3 expected goals. At that point, you should put that game away, and he agreed with us in that point. They were just inefficient in front of goal. He said coming into this game, they still know what they can create. And honestly, he mentioned that, would you want to be on the opposite side of that where you're not creating chances, you're not getting looks on goal, you're not getting into the opposition's final third? You wouldn't. You want to be creating those chances, the only issue being scoring those goals, and that's something his team we know can do with those 4 wins, 2 of those, or all of them being clean sheets. They haven't given up anything until that Fort Lauderdale game. This is a team that knows how to win, knows how to score. They just have to have that mindset in front of goal.
They made a change in goal. It's not often you step away from the reigning Golden Glove winner from a season ago, Megan McClellan. They turned to Sydney Martinez in her first season with Carolina, and as you pointed out, 4 clean sheets since she's taken over. And there's some history for Sydney Martinez with Denise Schultz-Brown. Martinez played at USF under Denise Schultz-Brown and with some of the players on this Tampa Bay Sun roster.
Yeah, Vivian Bissett, Sydney Nasello. I played against all of them when I was playing in college at UCF, and so it's cool to see teammates obviously playing together with Bissett and Nasello, but on the other side of the pitch as well with Martinez in goal. I'm sure it's weird for Vivian having to play against her former goalkeeper.
We're on I-4, huh?
Yes.
How'd that go for you?
In the beginning, we lost. Towards the end, we gained the upper hand. So it's been back and forth every year, though.
It should be pointed out that as you are a UCF alum, I am a USF alum.
Yeah.
So it is a broadcast booth divided. A war on I-4 in the broadcast booth, and Denise Schulte-Brown, former head coach at USF, now the head coach for Tampa Bay Sun in her second season, won the league title last year, but it's been a bit of a struggle this season. She's tried to search for answers, and they made an entire overhaul of their tactics over the last month or so, and it has required a lot of running and some more running and some more running. And it's paid off the last 2 matches.
Yeah.
A clean sheet win on the road at DC, and then a 2-1 win at Dallas the first time they won there.
And she was frank with us and said, this is a demanding system we want our teams to play in, pressing-wise.
Here's Sydney Nasello. Nasello trying to get around the corner, curls it in and missed everything, and that did deflect out, so it will be a corner kick, the first of the match for either side in the 5th minute.
They're going to send a lot of numbers forward, and that's something that head coach Philip Poole, you see him right here for this Carolina Ascent side. They know that Tampa Bay has switched to this more 4-4-2 diamond shape in the midfield, wanting to send more numbers forward. His team has played against that before. They know how to defend well and break that down in terms of building out of the back.
The Baldwin Group is the proud presenting partner of the Tampa Bay Sun, and their corner kicks protect what's possible. Short off of the corner. Now it's curled back into the box. Headed away by Carolina. Well done. Shot from distance from Pokorny never got all the way through, and this is a lot of what we've seen from Carolina over the last 5 games, and they're defending in the right spots at the right time, and it's a big flip from how they finished the fall to how they started the spring and to what they look like now. And they started the spring with 3 straight losses. They ended the fall with a loss and a draw, and they only scored 1 goal in those 5 games. They were outscored 5-1 over that stretch, and it's completely flipped from there, outscoring their opponents 7-1, unbeaten, 4-0-1 in the next 5, and the reigning Shield winners from a season ago are comfortably in a playoff position in 3rd place. Only for win number 10.
Philip Poole just told us that this team is so resilient. You know, there's ways where you can put a plan together and plan A doesn't work on the pitch, and you have to change to plan B kind of right there away and allow your team to fix it in the run of play. And his team has done that. They've grinded out games in that stretch of February to March to win and get those 4 games, and really to come out of that winter and fall stage and into the spring. Not a new team look-wise, because they are the same, they play the same, but just you have to refine those mentality sort of pieces, trying to get better every single day.
Defender went down for Carolina. Nasello trying to take advantage for Tampa Bay, curls it in towards Faith Weber, and that's put wide, and she's been a dangerous player over the last 2, a goal against DC and assist last week for the Denver Summit Loney.
Well, it looked eerily similar to Tyler Lucy's goal with Sydney Nasello on this flank side. She picks her head up, has so much time and space, and Nabet does not close her down, which allows her to just whip this ball in. Weber getting herself just in between the defenders, a little bit of space off the back line to head that one, just didn't get the right angle on it.
Bay has had the advantage in the early going, and Weber right back on it, takes it away from Corbin, tries a shot from distance, but that ends up right into the hands of a fan. Great save up there in what, the 5th row, 6th row?
It kind of looked like it surprised her. I thought she would have seen that one coming, but great catch there by the fans.
It's Easter Sunday, you're on the lookout for Easter eggs. Be on the lookout for a shot from distance from Faith Weber, I guess, too. They did a pregame egg hunt here earlier today. 600 eggs, 7 were golden eggs. So congrats if you found one of the golden ones.
I was never good at finding like the egg that had all of the goods in it. You know, when my parents would put them, or the Easter Bunny, excuse me, would put them around the house, I would always find the eggs with jelly beans, and I'm not a jelly bean girl.
Oh.
I wanted the cash, you know, or the coins or something. Could never find it. My siblings always found those for some reason.
I'm not a jelly bean guy either.
If I am, it's the Starburst ones specifically.
Red and pink, the best flavor
Yes.
of Starburst, by the way. Foul given here, and a free kick coming for Carolina. And this is an interesting spot because neither team has scored off of a free kick this season. They do have 6 set-piece goals, but none have come on free kicks. And here's a good shot from just outside the 18 to maybe get the first of the year.
Set-piece defending has been a key for Tampa this season. They haven't been super hard in letting teams run through them on set pieces. So for Denise Schulte-Brown today, she needs to see her team just mark up well and tight and not let these Carolina runners run through them.
Free kick delivered in towards the back post. Sent back into the middle and nobody home in white for Carolina. And Tampa Bay able to clear it out for a throw. That was nearly the first set-piece goal of the year. First free kick goal, I should say.
And again, it's just that tight defending. What a ball in by Corbin on that back post. And then just the lack of touch-tight defending from Tampa Bay on that back side. Jordan Listro, somebody who's so strong on the ball and usually has a very good eye for where her defenders are, just let the runner slip past her there.
Madison Merrick will throw in for Carolina. And now Nasello takes for Tampa Bay. Long down that right side, over the head of Picorni, and settled down now by Carolina. Merrick has Lucy to her right, and Lucy tracks it down. Low cross comes towards Beardsley, and Beardsley gobbles it in.
While we're still kind of in the realm of conversation of war on I-4, it's not really a thing anymore because the move of conference.
Yeah.
So they don't really take it as that big of a rivalry, which makes me so sad.
A bit ironic because the roles were reversed.
Right.
There was a bit of a pause in play years ago when USF went to the Big East and UCF stayed in Conference USA. And now UCF's in the Big 12 and USF's still in the American. But again, this is a conversation that,
right.
as a USF alum, we don't need to fully cover. It's a sore subject.
So we don't have to have a war in the broadcast booth.
No.
Okay, that was my
all
point.
good feelings in here.
Oh no.
Listro, USF alum, good ball down that right flank. Good recovery there, and a clearance.
Did they catch it again?
Is that 2 for 2?
That's awesome.
Throwing to Nasello. Tight quarters along that touch line, and it rolled out, and it's a throw for Carolina. Chisholm. Listro had an assist in that DC win, 2-0 in the nation's capital. That was her first assist as a pro in almost 4 years.
She's such a facilitator,
Yeah.
right? She really just wins the ball and then works it higher up the pitch for a team and really just creates that possession that they need. Not really on the score sheet, but she does that unsung hero type of work.
Picorni in a foot race. Picorni able to get there before Nally and earn the throw. In for Faith Weber, already shown how dangerous she can be in this first half. And that is an unfortunate error for Tampa Bay's Sun as it rolled over the end line. And it will be a goal kick for Sydney Martinez. Obviously so many different faces for this Tampa Bay Sun side from the championship run last year. Tosh Flint moved on. Carly Gimona, who was one of the best scorers in the league last year, now comes off the bench for Denise Schulte-Brown. And I mentioned Sabrina McNeil scoring her first goal of the spring against Dallas. Well, so did Carly in the win against Dallas Trinity. Certainly a welcome sight for Tampa Bay Sun. And look, if they are going to complete this run and sneak in to the postseason, Carly Jamona is going to have to be part of that. Whether it's off the bench or in the starting 11, she's just going to have to factor in. It's as simple as that.
That's something that Denise Schulte-Brown told us, right, is that we're going to see more goal for production from her because of the confidence she has within herself. But then as she gets more comfortable in this role coming off the bench for her team, she can be that spark plug that they need. She's actually only behind Sydney Nacella with 6 goals. She has 4, as second most on the team. So she's a player that can create impact, whether she starts in the 11 or she comes off as a game changer. They really are going to need her down the stretch. And I said earlier, they have it all in their hands. The fate is within themselves because of the teams, A, that they have to play coming up, and B, the momentum and confidence that they are playing with right now, just stacking those 2 wins back to back.
You know, I asked Denise Schulte-Brown, is it hard to not look ahead with what's in front of them and trying to track down that final playoff spot, or because of the position that they're in, have the players been able to compartmentalize, this is one day, one game at a time, because it doesn't matter what happens 2 weeks from now if we don't take care of business on a day like today. She goes, look, there's been nothing easy for the Tampa Bay Sun in 25-26. We can't look ahead. They were proud as a group to get their first back-to-back wins of the entire season, and that's momentum. Now a third win establishes, hey, we can make an actual run at this and qualify. And we know that everything just rides on the next game that's in front of us.
On the other side, Carolina Ascent and Philip Poole said, don't ever sleep on Tampa Bay. They know that if they poke the bear or wake the sleeping giant in Tampa Bay, that things can happen for the Sun. And they're the reigning champions for a reason. They have that same nucleus of players, obviously same head coach in Denise Schulte-Brown. So they have that system now within themselves for 2 years. They are clearly adaptable to different styles of play. And now it's just putting all those pieces together.
Outside of that free kick for Carolina, this has been an excellent first 15 and a half minutes for Tampa Bay Sun here at home. A place where they've struggled. Just one win this season in this stadium. 1-4-5 here at home.
It's kind of mind-boggling when you think about it, because you normally play better at home. Obviously, you sleep in your own bed. You train on this field. You know it inside and out. Last season, they had the best home record in the league. So to come into this season and only have 1 win at home, you have to protect your home field.
Giveaway, and now numbers for Carolina, but it fizzles out. Good recovery defensively by Tampa Bay. Listro wearing the captain's armband whistled for another foul, and so a deeper free kick coming for Carolina Ascent. Maybe too early of a start there for Carolina.
Referee wanted to get the whistle to start play. That was always so frustrating as a player, because you wanted to play quickly and the referee would call it back, and you have to rework your entire play you were drawing up there.
So Corbin stands over it again. She's been red hot, 3 goals over the last 5 games. Delivers in, and the header ends up wide for a goal kick. Last touch by Carolina.
And again, beautiful ball in by Mia Corbin, just lifted right into the mix. The angle to try to redirect it on frame, a little bit tough just because you're sitting right in front of that PK spot, but they're trying to put the pressure back on Tampa.
I want to ask you about Mia Corbin for a second, because last year she led this team in goals, scored in double digits. She's closing in on 15 goals, which would make her the 4th ever in this league short history to reach 15 career goals. Only has 3 this year. They've all come in the last 5 games. What have you noticed in her season this year?
It's really been about the collective, I feel like, for this entire Carolina team, that they haven't really relied on one or two players to really get the job done. They've had to rely on the collective altogether. And for her second year in the league, she's an experienced, if you can say that, in this league and within this team and Phillip Pool's system. That not that she's taking a step back, but she's allowing her role to change in a way of she's facilitating more of the play instead of scoring the goals, but she still can when the ball is at her feet. She has that same mentality in front of net.
Much like this entire Carolina Ascent team, it seems to be that they are, wait for it, ascending at the right time here late in the season. We'll have our first booking of the match.
Tampa using their press to just try to pin Carolina. There's a little bit of shove at the end of that play. Haugen just trying to keep the ball in front of her. A little bit of a trip there, but this press for Tampa is working out nicely, and they're frustrating Carolina in the build-up.
So Haugen picks up the yellow. Select is the official match ball supplier of the Gainbridge Super League and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Merrick cuts to the inside. Tries to split three, stays alive. Lucy with a great ball. Now it's set up off the crossbar. Mackenzie George with a blistering shot off the crossbar had Beardsley beat. And Carolina, just like that, nearly had the 1-0 lead. They're not done yet, trying to put the pressure on. It comes all the way through. Merrick fires, save Beardsley. Rebound sitting there. And finally, Tampa Bay is away with it, and it's Nasello who gets it out of harm's way.
If this is not the definition of the Carolina Ascent season, I don't know what else to tell you as an example. This was a beautiful build-up to just get the open opportunity and just right off the other end of the crossbar. And again, Merrick in a perfect spot, the back post, great save by Beardsley, and nobody can just tap it through for Carolina. They create so well in front of goal, and then they just can't get that final touch, whether that be self-induced or hitting the post.
It's crazy because normally when you're on a 5-game unbeaten streak, 4 wins, you get those bounces, and those tend to go in.
Yeah.
Somehow they're winning despite not getting those bounces.
They've had to work for it. It's the resiliency piece that Phillip Pool was telling us about.
George has been a very solid player. Ooh. Nothing there. Okay. Bit surprised by that. Andre Coleman took a pretty nasty spill and play just rolled on.
Looks like they'll call that second foul on her when she got back up, but she went down really hard.
Yeah.
And the Haugen was given a yellow card on a play that was way less severe from what I saw.
Room again for Merrick. She's been active. Slides it in front off of Shea Groom, but a misplay at the back, and then George went down, and maybe a potential handball outside the area after that. Both let go. Carolina still in possession. It's Mia Corbin who tried with the left foot from distance. It was blocked by Guillard. And sent back in by George. By Corbin, excuse me. George was there, nearly able to put it home. Instead, just out for a goal kick.
And what a sequence. Mia Corbin just picks up this ball, threads it through the back line, and it was so close. And I think that was actually Tyler Lucy there on the back end trying to put that one away. Just going to ground here. She's been such a magnet on the ball, just like Merrick, who's been creating from the back line.
Lucy been a great addition in the spring, coming in February. Merrick. Now Groom, given a little space. This game has turned a little bit over the last 5-7 minutes. That clearance recovered by Carolina. And now Merrick goes all the way to Beardsley. Corbin, Lucy. Now Nasello for Tampa Bay. Jay, can you shed light on just how difficult it is for Tampa Bay and what they're trying to do here late in the season, overhaul everything, a lot of running, a lot of chasing, how difficult it is not only just to overhaul your systems in the middle of a season, but specifically to that type of style of play.
You have to be bought in. There's no other explanation for it. Every single player, every single staff member, every person involved with this team has to be bought into whatever they're trying to do, whether it be tactically, whether it be mentally, whether it be physically, things off the field in the weight room. Like, they have to be on the same page when you're trying to just lift yourself up. They were in 9th place for a while. They're in 8th, trying to just slowly creep up with these games in front of them, these last few games in front of them. But Denise Schulte-Brown said that they have to be steel. And that means steel mentally and not letting anything get through them physically with the demands of their system as well.
Rolls over the end line and last touch by Tampa Bay. There is Denise Schulte-Brown, an ambitious attempt to try and save their season and defend their crown.
And I think that's one of the best things about her as a coach is she's a risk taker, and she's not afraid to do those things, put her teams in uncomfortable situations, but it brings the best out of them. It happened at USF. It's happened here last season. Here now, just trying to bring that best competitive edge out of her team.
Corner delivered in. Lucy trying to track it down. Corney watching her. Whisked her over to support. Talked to Denise Schulte-Brown before that DC game, and we had just talked about how in her entire coaching career she's never been through a season quite like this one. If it's not one thing, it's another.
Yeah.
The success hasn't been there. 4, 8, and 9 on the season for the defending champions. Knew maybe that with all the change on their roster that maybe it wouldn't be quite the same as last year, but I don't think anybody could have envisioned this. Nabet lays it forward. Coleman gets there, puts it back into the mixer. Groom was held. The whistle blows and a point to the spot. A delayed whistle, but the right call. Groom was setting up for a golden chance and was held up, and now Carolina will have a chance from the spot.
Well, his ball was perfectly floated into that PK spot, exactly where you need, and just unfortunate mental mistake by that Tampa Bay defender for just not allowing her to get to the ball there. Gaillard has been involved with a few tackles. We saw it earlier with Audrey Coleman, and then now again here, this one even more detrimental.
And Jill Aguilera will step to the spot. Aguilera Defender of the Year, Golden Playmaker last season, has 1 goal this season. Carolina is 2 for 3 from the spot this year. Against Beardsley, Aguilera tucks it in. The Carolina captain puts Carolina Ascent on top 1-0, just shy of the half-hour mark.
So we'll see what sets up this PK first. You see just the yank of the arm on Groom from Gaillard, and then Jill Aguilera, cool, calm, and collected. What a beautiful PK. Slots it home with her left foot. Like perfect experience with the power. Beats Beardsley.
Tough for Liz Beardsley, playing in her 3rd game of the season and hasn't really been tested all that much. Did see the shot go off the crossbar earlier in the half, but you're 1v1 with a player the quality of Aguilera without a lot of seasoning this year in goal. And after Tampa Bay controlled, I would say, the first 10-15 minutes of this match, the last 15, it's been all Carolina and a deserved 1-0 lead.
And what a way to get a little bit of insurance here later on to this first half, when you know Tampa Bay can threaten whenever, and Carolina really taking control, but you never know.
Faith Weber trying to answer immediately. Weber with a go from distance, and Martinez makes the stop. Well, this is an interesting scenario here for Carolina. They are 9-1-4 this season when scoring the first goal. Denise Schulte-Brown has told us that, you know, a lot of times this season when Tampa Bay concedes a goal, they go down 1-0, or they go up a goal and they concede the equalizer, the things just kind of get very deflated. And it felt like Dallas, it was a good turning point for them, where they had the 1-0 lead, they concede the equalizer, but then within 10 minutes, they grab the lead right back. Let's see how they respond here today.
This is going to be a huge test for this Tampa Bay team, because Carolina, once they are leading, very comfortable, they get in control of the game. Tampa Bay has to disrupt that early. They cannot allow Carolina to hold on to this lead.
Carolina, when they get beat, it's because they have to play from behind. But now Merrick gets around McNeil. Merrick on the cross and cleared away. George was unmarked. Lucy tried to play it. Not sure if she was meaning to get it over to George, but it was a promising build that fizzled out.
Looked like she was trying to cheekily just put it past her, just because she wasn't facing towards goal.
Merrick in front. Lucy couldn't make a play on it. The push to the playoffs is on across the Gainbridge Super League. To stay up to date on all the latest information, analysis, and insight, visit GainbridgeSuperLeague.com. Josh Chappelle, Jade Barquette with you on Easter Sunday from Tampa Bay, right along the water. Incredible venue. Beautiful day in the Sunshine State.
Fans, your attention please. Due to the high temperature of today's match and for the safety of the players, the referee has indicated...
We'll have a hydration break here at the 32-ish minute mark. It is a beautiful day in Tampa, but it is Tampa Bay, it is Florida. It is humid, it is hot, temperatures in the 80s, and as a fellow bald, for Philip Poole's sake, I hope he's got the sunscreen working today, because that sunburn after a day in the sun without a hat, that's no joke. Now look, I can make the joke because Phil on our call called me out, said we had the same haircut, as you can see. So let's take a look back at the goal for Carolina. What led to the PK, and then Aguilera converting.
And there's no selling that. Shea Groom was pulled by Gaillard, and what a beautiful finish by Aguilera. Beats Beardsley. You want to hit that side netting when you're taking a PK. She hit all of it. And right now in these two huddles, these teams for Carolina, wanting to continue to push. They were switching the point of attack a lot more towards the end before we hit the hydration break. They need to do more of that. Expand Tampa. Allow Tampa to have to run and work up and down the field. Allow their legs to get tired. But on the other hand, for Tampa, they have to have a little bit more sense of urgency. Get up the pitch higher. Keep the ball in the central and final thirds instead of just in their back half. And that might need for them to play the ball higher up the pitch with long balls. Just push Carolina back because they're so comfortable in Tampa's own half right now. They have to give themselves more space.
Well, this style of play, it might be a difficult task for Tampa Bay, the way that Carolina has found their groove here in the first half. As we take a look at the up-to-the-minute table in Gainbridge Super League now. We'll get to this more at halftime, but Jacksonville have a chance to clinch a playoff spot and become the first team in the league this year to do so. They're 4 points clear of Lexington, 8 points clear of Carolina. But if DC plays tomorrow, if they lose or they draw, then Sporting Jacks is the first team to clinch a postseason spot.
All right, Sun fans, it is almost that time to get back to the action. When I say let's go, you say Sun. Let's go. Let's go.
So is sunscreen on your head a part of your everyday routine now, or no?
If I get around to it. You know, if I'm out on the golf course and I'm wearing a hat, usually I just accept the fact that I'm going to have a weird tan line on the back.
Okay.
You know, it's the hand we were dealt,
Right.
and we accept it.
It's a part of life.
Absolutely. Bit breezier too, by the way. Like on a day like today,
I bet it
feeling
feels
the wind.
nice.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Philip Poole, always enjoy talking to him. Reigning coach of the year in this league. And he is everything I feel like you would want as a player in a coach. And Jade, you were expressing that much to him on our call. Just the way that he communicates, the way that he talks about his player, the love that he clearly has for his players. You can see why they won the Shield last year and then are in a position this season to maybe make a run at the trophy come the playoffs.
He's always talked about having an open door policy and that his players just come in and talk soccer, they talk life, anything that they really need, he has them for.
McNeil feeds it in front. Clearance was deflected. Corbin, now Listro heads it down. McNeil trying to go wide, unsuccessfully. And Bissett has to chase it down, but she'll let Haugen take it instead.
Philip Poole also told us that he's a girl dad himself, so he kind of treats his players like, if this was my daughter, how would I, want her to A, feel and also be the truth always. And I think that is so productive when you have those conversations with players. You're not just talking about soccer, you're talking about their careers too.
After the giveaway, Gaillard got a piece of it, still alive though. George shielded off by Bissett, and that allows Beardsley to take over. Mia Corbin. Battle forward in the midfield, the whistle blows, and a foul on Carolina.
It's better from Tampa, though, the way that they are pressing, trying to win the ball back. Coleman there just running over the play, but you saw how Tampa was just sending number after number to the ball. And then Carolina, because of the pressure, coughed it up. It gave it away.
Cello and Listro, USF alums, stand over it. Andre Coleman getting a talking to from Caitlin Trowbridge. All ready to have it put in play. McNeil over the top. Nobody home for Tampa Bay. No foul there. Clearance by Corbin, but a throw-in coming for Tampa Bay.
And I'm surprised that Nasello dropped the ball off there to McNeil instead of putting it in the box, because McNeil had the worse angle than the original spot where the free kick was.
Foul going the other way this time. Aguilera the goal from the spot in the 28th minute. Denise Schulte-Brown talked to us about how the last two games they've played in DC and at Dallas were on bigger pitches. In their style, you figure that might be an advantage to come back home where the pitch is a little bit smaller. They do a lot of running. It's slightly less, but you figure that conditioning from the last 2 weeks will come into play here.
It might help them for sure. And when you're playing, you come back to your home pitch, it's smaller. Obviously, you want that. Is when you're running, you're playing this style of soccer. The Dallas games, their field is it's huge. So that shape that they have to have, it's easier for teams to play through, but it's also easier once you win the ball back to go straight to goal from where they want to win the ball, which is higher up the pitch. Carolina right now doing a really good job of finding those pockets where Tampa is just late to reacting to the ball, but then the Tampa Bay defenders behind them are doing a fantastic job.
Lucy tried to move it in the direction of George. Pass just eluded her. And a goal kick coming for Liz Beardsley. Carolina's also hit the crossbar in this half. You see Tyler Lucy, 6th game with Carolina. And one of the things that Philip Poole told us about the 4 additions that came in for the spring, he was going to ease them in, right? Like, you got to get fit to play. And he wasn't just going to put them in harm's way early on. And I would say those 4 have settled in quite well.
Yeah, and it's difficult when you have to have a preseason in the middle of season for these players who are coming off NWSL off seasons and then throwing them into this league, which is very demanding. You're going to get hit. You're going to have to run and defend on both sides of the ball.
Carolina on the move again. Coleman. Beardsley, another goal kick. Her 3rd start of the season. Wagner's been getting the majority of the playing time. They've used 4 different keepers this year. I don't think they made the catch there.
Oh no.
Poor guy. Someone get him a souvenir.
Right? Where's his golden egg?
Ah, yes.
Oh, poor guy.
Great floppy hat, though.
Right?
Mia Corbin. Wide from Merrick. Back for Corbin. Lucy then takes one up in the head area.
How is that not a foul?
Lucy for Merrick. They've gone through this right side plenty today. Merrick tees it up. Ambitious, but high.
I like that Merrick decided to take that herself, though. She's been getting into the attacking third so much. The runners for Carolina behind her were defended well by Tampa. She had the space. Just not the exact shot she was looking for, but I like that she was taking that herself.
Time winding down in this first half. Again, the goal by Aguilera, her second of the season, from the penalty spot. Back for Tampa Bay, the couple of opportunities that Faith Weber had early on. They really haven't had much since then. Coleman feeds it towards George. She gets taken down. Play rolls on. Merrick catches up to it. Merrick on the cross, back post. This will be a corner for Carolina Ascent.
Tampa has to be careful about their defending in the box. That was the second time that Carolina has been taken down as the ball's been coming in. Already had one PK called in this game. It put Carolina up 1-0. They don't want it. Tampa Bay doesn't want another one because they are defending for their life right now.
Mia Corbin to put it in play. Towards the back, Lucy heads it wide out for a goal kick. You look at some of the statistical comparisons. 15 touches in the opposition box for Carolina to just 3 for Tampa Bay. Final third entries 38-24 in favor of Carolina as well. There has just not been much creating offensively for Tampa Bay in this first half outside of that first 10-15 minutes of action.
Most of this game is being played in Tampa's own defensive half. Carolina's winning the ball and really only using their back line to facilitate buildup.
Lucy will try, tipped over the bar. Beardsley a huge stop as we enter stoppage time, 5 minutes, but Lucy going for goal of the week.
And again, another long-range shot here. She has time and space. McNeil doesn't close her enough. And then Liz Beardsley, highlight save. Can we get on ESPN Top 10 again, Gainbridge Super League? Because that was a perfect save to keep her team within 1.
If you're Tampa Bay at this point, you're just hoping to get to halftime at 1-0. Corbin curls it in. And there's 2 for Carolina. Tampa Bay thought potentially that was off the arm. But Carolina Ascent cashes in on the corner and takes a 2-0 lead in stoppage time in the first half. It's Nabet with the goal.
Again, a beautiful ball in by Mia Corbin. Tyler Lucy plays it across. And then just to finish the play, Lily Nabet makes sure that one is going in. It kind of looked like it was going in before she had tapped it, but she was going to secure that regardless.
She's pointing to the inside of her left shoulder.
Yeah, Tampa Bay was calling for a handball.
And that is a massive insurance goal here right before the half.
Carolina goal scored by number 28, Lily Nabet. That goal comes in the 36 minutes of added time.
What a time for her first goal of the season. Came over in the spring. She gets her first with Carolina. Merrick looking for more. Merrick around Chisholm, but Chisholm dispossessed her. It's a throw-in just by the corner kick flag. Does that count as a broadcaster jinx, by the way? If you're a Tampa Bay Sun fan watching this and you hear me say, well, Tampa Bay is just trying to get to the half at 1-0, and then the ensuing corner
Yes.
is successful. We're going to count that as a broadcaster jinx?
Unfortunately for you, yes. Set pieces and corner kicks are one of those, is how Denise Schulte-Brown expressed that Carolina Ascent scores these goals, and that's when we mentioned earlier the need for tight defending on those set pieces. Tyler Lucy was defended, but not defended tight enough for her power with her head, the way she just hunts the ball. It's like a magnet to her on those set pieces. She actually was just awarded a yellow card on that last foul. But then Lily Nabet to just continue her run through the defense and to put it away. There will be some discrepancy on whether that be a handball or not.
Nasello on goal. Her former teammate Martinez with the stop. That goes wide of goal. First half that has been thoroughly dominated the last half hour or so by Carolina, and a deserved 2-0 advantage. And we'll have Denise Schulte-Brown and Tampa Bay searching for more answers at the half. And there is the whistle for halftime. Aguilera and Nabet, the goals for Carolina. Aguilera's second of the year, Nabet's first with Carolina as well.
And really, after that first 15 minutes, it has been all Carolina. They've played most of this half in Tampa's defensive half of the field, really, and Carolina going to want to continue on this lead 2-0, a scary lead in soccer. Tampa Bay, fortunately for them, they have that next 45 to really turn this thing around. Not playing a full 90 is something that's bogged them most of this season. Can they put 145 together to really come back into this game?
Carolina Ascent 5-0-2 when leading at the half this season, and they've got a 2-0 lead on the road. They have been excellent this season. 8 results in their 10 away matches, and they are 45 minutes away from road win number 6 and their 5th win in 6 games to move their unbeaten streak to 6 in a row. And these Tampa Bay Sun fans who saw their team win a title last year have seen them struggle this season, as we are now joined by the second goal scorer for Carolina Ascent, Lily Nabet. Lily, congrats on the goal. If you could just take us through what transpired on that play from your vantage point that resulted in your goal.
Yeah, I think all credit to Mia for getting that ball into back post, and Tyler with the header back into me, and I did the easy part, just following it back into the goal. So honestly, all credit to them.
2-0 lead here at the half. How do you keep things rolling for this next 45?
Yeah, I think just keeping tempo, moving the ball, getting the ball to our attacking players. They're doing a great job at progressing up the field and doing their thing 1v1. So I think control the counter, mitigate all those things, and then yeah, our attackers are doing a great job. So I think just keeping that up.
Lily, thanks so much for your time. Congrats on the goal, and good luck in the second half.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
That's Lily Nabet of Carolina Ascent, who are up 2-0 at the half on the road at Tampa Bay Sun, trying to make it 6 in a row unbeaten. Keep a stranglehold on a playoff spot. Back with more at the half after this from Tampa Bay.
Not 1, not 2, but 3 bags of snacks. He's heading into the checkout zone. He fakes, pulls out his Suncoast Visa card, pays, and goes! Now you have the chance to go to the FIFA World Cup 2026, thanks to Visa. Use your eligible Suncoast Visa debit or credit card now through April 14th, 2026, and you could be one of 3 winners to experience the thrill of a FIFA World Cup 26 match in Miami, including a travel credit, a Visa prepaid card, and official FIFA merchandise. Learn more at suncoast.com/Visa Goals.
Fernandez, and there's the goal. This ball late.
Are you kidding me?
Kopaisi knocks it away.
Finds the back of the net.
Instead it's Jamona, and she has leveled it. Over top corner.
Take a load off it. Take a load.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
Hugo grabs not 1, not 2, but 3 bags of snacks. He's heading into the checkout zone. He fakes, pulls out his Suncoast Visa card, pays, and goal! Now you have the chance to go to the FIFA World Cup 2026, thanks to Visa. Use your eligible Suncoast Visa debit or credit card now through April 14th, 2026, and you could be one of 3 winners to experience the thrill of a FIFA World Cup 26 match in Miami, including a travel credit, a Visa prepaid card, and official FIFA merchandise. Learn more at suncoast.com/Visa Goals.
2-0 to Carolina Ascent at the half over Tampa Bay. Why does academic medicine matter? Because at Tampa General, the best medicine starts with the best science, like our cutting-edge research that helped develop computerized devices to treat epilepsy and Parkinson's, restoring normal brain function and ending tremors. Tampa General, other hospitals practice medicine. We define it. Josh Appel, Jade Barquette with you as we take a look around the league from this week. On Tuesday, Tampa Bay went on the road. Carly Jamona's 85th minute goal, the game winner against Dallas Trinity. And then how about Lexington? Barry, a brace, her 4th of the year in the 2-0 win over DC Power. That sets a new Super League record, 4 braces in 1 season.
She cannot be stopped, Kat Barry, and for really the rest of these teams, Lexington is a force to be reckoned with, and all eyes are looking at that game tomorrow with DC Power and Fort Lauderdale to see if Sporting Jacks can clinch the league.
If Fort Lauderdale does anything other than draw, I'm just going to restart. DC, if they lose or they draw, Jacksonville's going to the playoffs. Fans here in Tampa Bay hoping to see their side make this a game in the second half. But in our latest installment of our Built for Success docuseries, we're highlighting a path to professional soccer that is anything but traditional. Here's a preview of how Sporting Jacks' Paige Kenton went from an Ivy League walk-on to leading the Gainbridge Super League in assists.
Here's Paige Kenton.
She's a warrior. She's resilient.
A 4th consecutive game with a goal.
It's frightening, to be honest.
I think I have 6 goals and 6 assists right now. She's very hard working. I think you can see that in the way she plays.
She's an honors neuroscience student.
Oh! 4. 2 for 2, Faith.
It's like a perfect example of someone who has really blossomed in this league.
We do the daily 10s every morning. Today we have a trivia that is all about Sporting Jacks. How well do you know the people you see every day? I don't think we expected to be sitting in this position. I think the Gainbridge Super League and Sporting Jacks are really special in what they're doing for women's soccer here in the United States.
Favorite, it's Soleil's Dance Party. So here's the deal, South Bleachers. I know we have some of you guys that stuck around for halftime. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go down the bleachers here. I've got Soleil's Sparkle Squad here with me. We're gonna drop a beat, and whoever's up dancing and partying and showing Soleil your. What happened to my mic? Oh, I lost my mic. Soleil and her Sparkle Squad are looking for you, especially my kids. So those of you that are dancing and showing us the energy, Soleil Sparkle Squad is looking for you. So let's start with my whole crew right here first. Soleil, you got your eyes on them, Sparkle Squad. DJ Sunshine, give us that first song, my friend. Okay. Here we go. These ladies want it right here. Oh boy. Who's gonna take home the Sparkle Squad goodies? These ladies up here, guys. Soleil, look at the top stairs. Look at the top. She's working it. Okay, section 1. You guys are still working. We got a little baby over here working it. She's got it going on. Final 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. That is the first section of Sparklers. You guys were amazing, by the way. All right. Let's move it down to our second dance party spot right here. You guys are all now part of the second dance party. So DJ Sunshine, give me that second track. Who wants the sparkle goodness? Let's see it. There you go. Keep it moving. Sparkle Squad's looking for you. Hey, let's go, kids. Where's my little dancers? Yeah, this guy right here in the yellow jersey, he's definitely sparkling. Final 20, Sparkle Squad on the move. Oh yeah, final 10. And that's gonna do it for the middle section. And finally, all you guys down here, you guys especially, this is the final spot for the final dance party, Soleil's Dance Party. Sparkle Squad's looking for you. Hit us with that final track, DJ Sunshine. Oh, this is a good one. It's a good one. It's a good one, Sparkle Squad. It's Soleil's Dance Party. We're doing it up. We need that energy. We need some goals. Let's go, Sparkle Squad. There we go. We're sparkling around here today. It's the final celebration here at Easter Sunday, Passover. We're doing it. Thank you to the Sparkle Squad.
Welcome back as we take a look at our first half highlights in Tampa. Here's what led to that first PK opportunity and goal for Carolina.
Sandrine Gaillard just pulls the left arm of Shea Groom there. She was trying to collect the ball. It was called a PK, and Jill Aguilera steps up beautifully to the spot. The captain for Carolina, Ascent, and tucks this ball away with class. What a professional PK there by Jill Aguilera. And then it didn't stop there for Carolina Ascent. This corner kick by Mia Corbin floated beautifully to the back post. Tyler Lucy heads it back across the goal mouth, and all Lily Nabet had to do was poke it in. She said it was with her shoulder, and we'll believe her. And the Carolina Ascent was up 2-0 after they pretty much carried that entire first 45 minutes.
It was the first 10 or 15 minutes or so that went the way of Tampa, but after that, this game really turned, and Carolina has a deserved 2-0 lead. More shots on target, the better possession, more corners as well.
It really has been dominated by Carolina that back half, but Tampa Bay is going to come alive here in the second 45. Never count out the Bay.
They're the defending champs for a reason. We'll see if they can make this a game in the second half. 2-0 to Carolina. Second half action coming up next.
kickoff. We need you to dig deep, Sunfans. We're looking for that third straight victory. And we're going to get it. We need you to get involved here tonight. We need that energy here in the second half, Storm Chasers. Let's go, Sunfans. Let's get up. Let's go, Sun Nation, on your feet. Let's get those feet stomping in your bleachers. Let's go. Let's go, Sunfans. Let's get those feet stomping. We need a solid 45 right here, Sunfans. Let the ladies feel your energy on the pitch. If you got a soccer scarf, let's get that thing rallying.
Some youngsters enjoying Easter Sunday at the pitch. Their Tampa Bay Sun, though, trailed Carolina 2-0. Tampa Bay trying to make it 3 in a row, while Carolina Ascent, with a commanding 2-0 lead, looks to make it 6 in a row unbeaten in 5 wins in those last 6. Josh Appel, Jade Barquette with you. Thanks for spending part of your Easter Sunday with us as Faith Weber gets the second half underway. Okay, Jade, how does Tampa Bay get back into this match here in the second half?
They have to remain on the front foot. They have to impose their style of play very quickly into the second half if they want to continue to try to get points back in this league and make that push for the playoffs. Playing that long ball up top, like you just saw there, might push Carolina sent back, and then once Carolina regains possession of the ball, can Tampa get their numbers forward and close down space? It's not going to just take 1 or 2 people to press Carolina. It has to be the entire team on the same page.
Faith Weber had a couple of chances in the first half. That was really it for the Sun. They're testing Sydney Martinez all that often. That's because they couldn't get the ball out of the possession of Carolina. Marcelo.
And halftime subs for Tampa, entering the match, number 77, Anna Helferty. She replaces number 3, Gabby Provenzano. Also entering number 15, Brooke Hendricks. She replaces
Brooke Hendricks
20,
comes
Dory
in
Haugen.
for Dory Haugen on that back line for Denise Schulte-Brown. And then Anna Helferty also enters, and she replaces Gabby Provenzano. Only 2 changes for Tampa Bay, no changes for Carolina, and why would you if you're Philip Poole after that first half performance? What do you think his message was at the half?
Continue doing what they're doing and not letting their foot get taken off that gas pedal. They were doing so well in the second half of just switching the point of attack and then going at goal, and if that wasn't working, recycling and going around. Very patient in their attack at the net.
For a Tampa Bay throw. Goals in the first half. Aguilera, from the spot. And then Nabet off a corner in the second minute of stoppage time in the first half. Second of the year for Aguilera. First for Nabet. It was a spring acquisition from Fort Lauderdale by Carolina. Helferty. Now Bassett. Drives it towards goal on a hop. Martinez tracks it down.
I don't mind that diagonal ball all the way on almost from half field from from Bassett, She has that range with her leg. She really can hit it almost to the opposition's 18-yard box from her own half. But if that one was just a little bit more directed at her teammate.
She steps up and grabs this fired that past Picorni, who wasn't ready for it, and it's out for a goal kick.
We saw a little bit of frustration from Tampa Bay Sun after that ball was just passed out of bounds, and it's because they have to value the ball. Being down 2-0 right now, going into the second half, they have to keep it as much as they possibly can and make sure they're doing the right things with it, not just making those long-range passes to nobody, but just possession with intent and with purpose to eventually go forward. But there's some patience in that Tampa doesn't have right now, and that's because they're trying to, get back on that front foot and score that first goal here in the second half. But there's a balance of playing with urgency, but also knowing that you have to pick out the right opportunities to go and score.
Listro went down. Now Carolina trying to take over. Hendricks with a grab on Mackenzie George, and a free kick here early for Carolina. Hendricks does get booked, so she comes in and immediately earns that yellow card. Haugen, who she replaced, also is in the book, so there goes that.
Like for like trade there.
Corbin puts it in play. It's a good ball into the area, comes all the way through, and Beardsley grabs it right along the goal line. That ball hung in the air forever. There's an injured player back behind the play for Carolina as well.
Mia Corbin just puts these balls on a platter, and then Jordan Listro was holding on to the Carolina Ascent player who was going for that ball on the backside.
One more look. Great delivery by Corbin. The Jenna Butler. Jenna Butler is the player down. As Philip Poole looks on. I think Tampa Bay is fortunate they weren't called for foul in the penalty area again. Listro very physical.
That's the mindset of this Tampa Bay team. They're going to be physical. They're going to be the aggressors. But again, with already one penalty kick called in this game, there was a questionable second decision that was not called at the end of the first half. And then that one again, they have to be mindful, especially down 2-0.
It's good to see Butler on her feet. And all right. She'll have to come off for the moment. Butler leads the league in clearances, has had a strong season, has played every minute so far, and someone who has played for Carolina in USLW, had a cup of coffee in NWSL, and now is a mainstay on this back line for Carolina Ascent.
Had a cup of coffee is funny.
Oh, never heard that term? Phrase?
No.
A quick stop. Time for a cup of coffee.
No, I like it. I think I'm gonna use it.
Great, you should. Faith Weber for Tampa. Rolls it along for Nasello. And earns the Tampa Bay corner. The Baldwin Group is the proud presenting partner of the Tampa Bay Sun and their corner kicks. Protect what's possible. Earlier they went short on the corner. Now it's whipped in. That's through. Difficult for Martinez, and that ends up wide. Near disaster for Carolina. Not sure if there was a breakdown in communication, but either way, Tampa Bay will have another shot from the other side.
Martinez calling for it to be in her hands. I don't think she ever had full security of the ball. It went right through, misjudged it when it came up, and then was bobbling it in the air before it went out of bounds. Like you said, missed opportunity for Tampa.
Service back in, Weber with a golden chance on the header, just over the bar. Weber, who's been so strong over these last two, a goal and an assist, nearly scored again today. She's had two of the best chances for Tampa Bay.
And that ball, she's inside of her defender in Aguilera. She has all the time and space, just doesn't get the right positioning on it as it came off of her head. Two prime opportunities for Tampa and just slipped through their fingers. See Listro dropping into that third center back role for Tampa when they're in possession, just trying to create more room in the midfield for those players to run into and pockets of space to open up. Carolina on the other side just doing a fantastic job of not allowing them to play through. They're Tampa Bay having to play around them right now, which is giving Carolina the ball right back because they're trying to play that ball over the top. And the runners for Tampa Bay would either be offsides or not be able to reach it. So Carolina just receiving that possession right back.
Nacello drives past Coleman. Aguilera now catches up. Nacello trying to create. Great defending. That's last off of Coleman for a Tampa Bay throw. As you see another substitution coming for Tampa Bay Sun. Maddie Picorni's afternoon is over. And into the match, Carly Gemona, who scored the winner against Dallas earlier this week. 4 on the season, had 8 last year. Instrumental in the championship run for Tampa Bay as the Sun get another corner. Baldwin Group presents this Tampa Bay Sun corner kick. Protect what's possible. Chisholm chases this down after it got through everybody and lets it roll out for a throw. Quickly in, Gaillard. Chisholm, nobody home for Tampa, scooped up by Martinez. Bay coming off back-to-back wins for the first time this season, but in a 2-0 hole here at home. Nasello trying to keep in, has it taken away. One back by Listro. Nasello flicked it over, and then a foul here as Listro went down. Nasello is very cheeky with it sometimes.
Sometimes, all the time. You never know what's going to happen when the ball is at that woman's feet. She's so deceptive with her touches. You see her and Listro just using that partnership. Little flick. I mean, any way to get out of danger, right? That's what you need.
Love that.
So simple.
Nasello delivers in the free kick towards Martinez. Didn't misjudge that one, was able to grab it. So 2-0 here to Carolina at the 1 hour mark. 6 games remain for Tampa Bay after today. 5 left for Carolina. Flag up here for offside. 2 at home, 3 on the road. Lexington and Jacksonville are the 2 home matches. Dallas, they'll come back here to Tampa, and Fort Lauderdale away. But the next match for Carolina is against the number 2 team in the Gainbridge Super League table, Lexington. And if the season ended today, it would be a playoff preview, number 2 versus number 3 in the league.
A lot is going to be riding on that match, and you get a taste of the playoffs if they were to hold that way. An exciting game between 2 powerhouse teams. Lexington just trading spots with Sporting Jacks, leading the way this year in points and wins and goals, and Carolina Ascent team, who is just on that rise, stringing together these last 5 games. It's going to be a one to watch for sure.
Another corner for Tampa. Nasello drives it in. Headed away by Carolina. This start of the second half, the first 15 minutes feels a lot like the first 15 minutes of the first half. A lot of possession for Tampa Bay, had a couple of chances. Carolina just withstood the pressure and then turned it on. Now, granted, they're up 2-0 here, so the strategy a bit different. They're going to sit back and defend up 2-0.
And I don't even really think that Carolina is going to sit back and let Tampa come to them, because if you let Tampa walk all over you, they will. And this Carolina team, I just think, is taking their foot off the gas a little bit.
Gaillard gets it back. Nasello cuts it back. A lot of contact, no foul. Surprising no call. Gaillard went down. Ascent floats it in. Helferty. And Coleman on it for Carolina. Out for another throw. So here's one more look at the action in the box.
The attack has been more promising. Nasello gets this ball. Nobody steps her. You see all the space she has. I'm surprised she didn't drive in more and commit a defender to try to slip that ball in. Gaillard does take a lot of contact there. I think that was Nabet that was defending her. But no PK called on this side of the pitch.
And looking at it on replay, did seem a little bit worse in real time.
Yeah.
Stay up to date with the Gainbridge Super League. Sign up for the Super Newsletter. Get news about your favorite team and stories from around the league delivered directly to your inbox weekly. Sign up at GainbridgeSuperLeague.com/newsletter. Happy Easter to those who celebrate. Thanks so much for spending part of your Easter Sunday with us here in Tampa.
Should we start the peeps conversation?
Okay. Sure.
I'm out on them.
I'm also out on peeps.
All right.
That was the conversation. Look, to each their own.
Right. Never judge. Never judge.
If people didn't like them, they wouldn't make peeps.
Right.
Carolina. Merrick gets it back. Nabet. And Carolina resets. you know, it's a marshmallow-based candy snack. What would you consider it?
I have no idea.
If I want a marshmallow, I'll just have some marshmallows.
Right, right. And it's like crystallized too a little bit. I don't know. I'm not into the Peeps. I can't.
Give me a Reese's Easter egg.
Oh, all day.
All day.
All day. Even when it's not Easter.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Well, yeah.
different. They're different. There's something about them that tastes different than the normal circular Reese's.
Mm-hmm. Now, I feel like those would be tough to put into an Easter egg for an Easter egg hunt, especially in Florida,
Oh, they're
because I
gonna
feel
melt.
like, well, exactly, the time that you get the egg open, you just got chocolate and peanut butter melted in an egg. George turning on Chisholm. What a goal! Mackenzie George thought she had a highlight reel goal, and it's taken away for offside.
Josh, I might have to see that a few times to see if that was offsides or not. I'm not sure how Mackenzie George could be offsides, because if I'm not mistaken, there were a few defenders behind her. She gets the ball in from the deflection, and she's on the inside of her defender the entire way. She spins Chisholm, and I mean, what a strike this is. Gets Beardsley going the opposite direction. I'm not sure how this can be offsides at all.
Wow.
I'm shocked too.
So it stays 2-0, a break for Tampa Bay. Let's see if they can take advantage. We talked earlier about all the chance creation and all the shots that are quality but don't end up going. I mean, that is a prime example of one that actually went in on a great individual effort that just goes for naught. Coleman, nice move. Coleman all the way in, leaves it in front. Lucy fanned on it. George nearly got a chance. Lucy back on it. Now it's Nabet. She has one, wanted two. And Beardsley, off the deflection of the chest, able to fall on it.
Another well-struck ball by Carolina. Coleman just drives all the way into the box. Lucy tried to shoot it. Mackenzie George was coming to clean it up as well. And then Nabet at the top of the box rockets this one right at Beardsley's chest. And they had the runners to try to collect that second ball, but she kept it nicely at her chest.
Nabet catches up to it with space on the right side, clips it in, making the run. Lucy, it's behind her, comes down to Coleman. It's George again for Lucy, now put in front. Beardsley the save, the rebound cleared away. Oh, the chances continue to come for Carolina. Sent wide of Beardsley there.
That called back goal from Mackenzie George seems to have awoken this Carolina Ascent attack. Coleman unselfishly dumped this ball off to George, and then it was one after the other. Nobody could finish. That looks like Shea Groom right around the box, trying to have not one but two opportunities there to finish it. And credit to Beardsley, who just stood her ground and kicked that ball away with a kick save and kept her team within two.
The last few minutes, this could have easily been a 4-0 game.
Yeah.
And at least for the moment, Tampa Bay at home is in striking distance.
And we mentioned it earlier, just how the first half was the first 15 minutes all Tampa, and it's kind of gone back to that.
Marcelo the steal. Here come Tampa Bay's son. Edge of the area. Now it's Nacello again. For Weber. Faith Weber! She has been sniffing around goal all afternoon, and she cannot believe that not one of her chances has found twine.
Nacello just passes one off to Jamona, who unselfishly again just passes it back to her. Patience in front of net. We love that from Tampa Bay. And then just that angle, so tough to hit with your right foot into the net for Weber, and whether that's been with her head or with her foot, she has been a magnet for the ball around the goal. She's had 5 shots so far this game and continues to add them for Tampa. It's going to be a game high for Faith Weber so far, as we know that she's not done in front of net trying to will her team back into this one.
She must be thinking, what do I have to do to get one? She's been so, we talked about it all game, she's been so strong over the last couple. Goal and an assist. Got to give Tampa Bay some confidence that against a team like Carolina, who's held 4 clean sheets in the last 5 matches, just given up 1 goal, that they've been able to create chances. Just about finishing, and now they'll have another chance at a corner. Nasello, what else is new? She's had an excellent performance. This Baldwin Group, or the Baldwin Group, is the proud presenting partner of the Tampa Bay Sun and their corner kicks. Protect what's possible. Corner was low. It was cleared away by Nabet, who has the 2nd Carolina goal. We're in the 70th minute. And George, who just had one taken away for offside, plays it across. Mia Corbin corrals, plays it towards George, and just a bit too far out in front of her.
Unfortunate for Carolina, they couldn't capitalize on that transition moment. Mackenzie George was just using her speed to dribble down this far side, and then Mia Corbin made that run. Her first touch just took her a little bit wide and didn't set herself up to maybe take that one herself in 1v1 against Beardsley.
Nasello clips it in. Only white shirts there. Coleman with a great view. Plays it back towards Martinez. Tampa can just pull one back. Make things very interesting here down the stretch. 1-2 in a row, trying to climb back into contention for a playoff position. Great ball. Jamona, but she was offside. Fired it high anyways.
Substitutions for Tampa. Entering the match, number 18, Maddie Parsons. She replaces number 5, Jordan Lisa. Also entering for Tampa, number 25, Peyton Parsons. She replaces number 7.
So the Parsons come on. Maddie and Peyton, no relation. Gaillard and Listro come out, so the entire midfield now that started the match for Tampa Bay has been subbed off.
Substitution for Carolina, entering the match, number 14, Taylor Porter. She replaces number 28, Lily Nabet.
Nabet will come off for Carolina. She scored the 2nd goal, her first of the season and first with Carolina. And she gives way to Taylor Porter in her 2nd season with Carolina. Fresh legs in this hot Florida sun. Gets over Maddie Parsons. Down for Sydney Martinez, who's looking for her 5th clean sheet in 7 appearances this year. Corbin gave it away, but got it back.
I want to stay in that bus for 100 million. Sit down and talk.
Parsons from distance. Did Martinez get a piece? She did. It'll be a corner.
And another long-range shot from Tampa Bay. Parsons, the sub, just that one curling inside that front post. Martinez doing a fantastic job. Want to make sure that clean sheet's secure.
Alfredi, that's too far for everybody. And out for a goal kick. So we'll have another hydration break. Who knew Ben Affleck was a Tampa Bay Sun fan?
Now we do. Look at him.
That's how, if you're in the sun for too long, that's the face you make.
Definitely looks like he needs some water.
So Tampa still trying to make a run to the postseason. They'll welcome in DC Power, who is right below the cut line in 5th place but losing ground. These two teams met up a couple of weeks ago in DC. Tampa Bay won that match 2-0. DC has been excellent on the road. They'll be looking for some revenge.
And really, it's all about Tampa just continuing to gain momentum and confidence each game.
Hello, Antoinette and Sky.
Yeah, hi, guys. But it's important for them to get something from this game so they can take that into that DC game, knowing that, every game in front of them is what is going to matter the most. They can't look ahead too far, but they have to take what is in front of them each and every night.
So let's take a look at our game summary. Both goals coming in the first half. Here's the foul that led to the PK for Aguilera. It was her 2nd goal of the season. Perfectly placed PK past Beardsley. And the captain got it done for Carolina. And then the 2nd minute of stoppage time, Lucy, the header off the corner, deflects off the shoulder of Nabet, her 1st for Carolina and her 1st of the season. And that has held up to this point. Don't forget, though, Carolina also hit a crossbar in the first half. They had a goal taken away for a questionable offsides in this half. So it could be a lot more than 2-0, but that's kept Tampa Bay within striking distance. Faith Weber has once again had a strong performance for Tampa Bay. The two players on your screen right now, Nasello and Weber, have arguably been the two best on the pitch for the Sun.
Faith Weber, a player that was on loan from Denver Summit in the NWSL. They didn't expect her to just come in and know exactly what to do within this league, but her reality now is picking up on the Gainbridge Super League, how fast it is, how competitive and aggressive they play with, and she's meeting the expectations of her coaching staff and the players around her, and you're seeing her just come alive. She's had so many opportunities in this game, 5 to be exact, and she hasn't been able to put anything away, but she's knocking on the door.
Nasello for Weber, right on cue. Weber for Peyton Parsons, she overran it. Coleman tracks it down for Carolina. Moves in on Bassett. Coleman clips it back. Did that cross the line? How did that stay out? Philip Poole must be sitting on the sideline wondering how his team doesn't have 6 goals in this match.
Well, that starts from the counterattack that is so susceptible if you're Tampa Bay. You send numbers forward. Carolina's going to take full advantage of it. Coleman just dribbles this ball from half field all the way in, and she gets the right space. She gets Bassett to take that one hit. You see, she gives enough space, and then I thought it was going to be an own goal for Hendricks. It bounced just in front of the line, and then off into the pitch. Hendricks looking at her own goal. It doesn't hit. Yep. Tampa once again getting bailed out by the post.
Philip Poole's just about tired of hearing about XG. This is, another one. I almost said that was a real G. That just went wide. From Morris, who just came on into the match for Mia Corbin. Riley Parker in as well for Audrey Coleman.
I mean, what a way to make an impact and say hello to this game. Or that ball bouncing half volley almost went in. And the XG for Carolina right now is only about 2 goals. But with all the opportunity, right.
Jamona commits the foul as she trying to race for that down the left side. We asked Philip Poole how much he puts into those underlying numbers. And he goes, I don't let those types of things make decisions for us. Sometimes those numbers can be manipulated a little bit and choose your narrative according to what you want it to be. But at a certain point, those chances created, they tell the story. And as you pointed out way back in the beginning of this broadcast, you'd much rather be coming from a point of creating chances and not cashing in on those than maybe having an unsustainable efficiency of cashing in on a small number of chances. Yellow card issued here.
Massive foul there on Cindy Nasello, but I loved the way he put it and the perspective he spun on it when we were talking about that would you rather not be creating chances at all or not being in the opposition's box, not creating those chances on net? Or would you rather have the problem we're having where we shoot so much and we're in the opposition box, but we can't score? That's an automatic yellow card there.
So we saw Morris nearly score, and now Porter, who just came on, grabs a yellow. Final 10 minutes of regulation here in Tampa. McNeil, haven't called her name much today. Nasello taking it wide, watched by 2 Carolina players. This rolls all the way in, and Martinez aggressively out to get it.
Nasello attracts at least 2 defenders whenever she's on the ball. Normally 1v1. You send one out to defend the attack in the flank. Cindy Nasello will at least draw 2 because of how deceptive she is. She can beat past 1, and the second one is there to stay in her kitchen, but she somehow still manages to get around most of the defenders who come out to defend her.
Weber, Faith Weber, cut it back to nobody. I think she expected Maddie Parsons to keep going towards goal, and those two not on the same page. Bounces towards Martinez. She handles it again and gets it started. Porter launches. Nobody home in white. Maybe tried to spring Morris. Has it deflect off of her. More substitutions coming.
Substitutions for Carolina. Entering the match, number 4, Ava Cook. She replaces number 20, Shea Groom.
Ava Cook comes on for Shea Groom.
10, Riley Davidson. She replaces number 17, Tyler Lucy. He subs coming in the 85th minute.
So both teams' midfield has been subbed out of this match. Riley Baisden comes on along with Cook for this final stretch here. 5 minutes to go before stoppage time. Cook. Not only does this Carolina team find themselves in such a great groove right now, but you look at the kind of depth that they're able to bring on late in these matches. That is a massive advantage. Morris. Make that Riley Parker. Now Taylor Porter. This is Morris. Hold along for Baisden. Miscommunication there with Addison Merrick, who was making the run.
The depth in Carolina is what makes them so well-rounded. When they sub their entire midfield, the level doesn't drop from what they want to play, how they want to play, the sense of urgency they have. It might be even more, obviously, because of how fresh their legs are.
Now, these four could start
right
probably all the other teams in this league.
But to have that on your squad is special, and the way that they use the subs, I think, is perfect as well. When Tampa's throwing fresh legs at them, and they have fresh legs of their own that can still maintain that level of urgency and consistency and soccer playing style. What a ball.
Great ball here for Riley Parker. As Carolina looks to put the finishing touches on. Porter brings it back, surveying her options. Looked like she thought about teeing it up, instead gave it off. Aguilera, and cleared away now finally by Tampa Bay. Minute. Both goals coming in the first half. Tampa Bay have had their chances to at least get one, but unfortunately for them, they haven't been able to convert. George now slides across. Baisden there, tracks it down. Merrick rockets it high. Look out.
It's the second time Addie Merrick has had that long-range shot. This one coming a little bit closer to the goal. Still same outcome, though, with it flying over the crossbar. Didn't hit anybody, though, this time. Did ricochet into a fan's hands, though.
Riley Parker. Now Aguilera, she scored the first goal at the feet of Martinez. Goes all the way through. Maddie Parsons back to her left. Parsons gets one back for Tampa Bay Sun in the dying moments of regulation. There goes the clean sheet for Carolina. A breakdown defensively, and Parsons took advantage. And now Nasello getting into it at midfield with Ava Cook. Tempers flaring in the Florida Sun. Yellows handed out to both Nasello and to Cook. Nasello does have a bit of a mean streak to her.
And what an opportunity. Bassett just hits this ball one time. Parsons collects, cuts inside, and does the spin cycle for the Carolina defender. Parsons, all she had to do was place this one in and gets her team back within one. And then after the play, there was a little bit of bumping in between players as Tampa was trying to hold on to the ball, and Ava Cook was trying to get that ball back to put on the spot.
Second goal for Parsons. We'll have 7 minutes of stoppage time. Plenty for Tampa Bay to maybe pull even. Wouldn't that be something? Or can Carolina answer right back? Riley Parker to her right. Parker tees it up. Never got all the way through. Parker has it back. Aguilera brings it wide, sends it across, cleared away. Porter also picked up a yellow. Correction, it was Ava Cook on the yellow. So Cook and Nasello get yellows for that little brouhaha at the end. Parsons trying to track this down again. Throw in for Tampa Bay. Tense moments late. Can the Sun pull off the miracle? Contact in the area, no foul. Dangerous moment. Weber took a spill. Service comes back in. Set flicks it out. It'll be a throw to Carolina. Parker. Into the corner, Hendricks battling with George. George goes down, there's the whistle and a free kick.
Expect Carolina to take their time here. Tampa Bay getting that goal back. They're now in stoppage time. They don't want to let this game get out of hand. A little bit of gamesmanship here from Carolina. I wouldn't be surprised if they kept this in the corner.
Aguilera to deliver it in. They scored on a corner earlier. Cook trying to waste time. Oh, goodness gracious. There's another foul. Nasello and Cook mixing it up again.
And of course they would send Nasello over here to defend Cook in this situation. Just keep things activated from when they scored the goal.
Guess what? We'll do it again. It'll be a throw. Tossed in, taken by Tampa. Nearly one back by Carolina, and another Carolina throw coming. Going for Tampa here. Time running out, about 2.5 minutes at the discretion of Caitlin Trowbridge. Good tackle by Cook. It's over Parsons. Jamona moves it along. Flicked up into the air. For Carolina coming in the waning moments. Maddie Parsons brought Tampa Bay back within a goal just before the 90-minute mark. Philip Poole hoping to see his team close this out. Nasello gets past Parker. Nasello driving in. Nasello earns the corner. The Baldwin Group, proud presenting partner of the Tampa Bay Sun, and their corner kicks protect what's possible. And what's possible here is the equalizing goal and maybe the last gasp for Tampa Bay in stoppage time. But they'll hurry it up so they'll at least have a little more time if they don't convert. Into the mixer it goes. And headed wide, smartly let go by Sydney Martinez. It'll be a goal kick. And now we await the discretion of Caitlin Trowbridge, our referee. The 2-game winning streak for Tampa Bay is on the line. Carolina trying to move its unbeaten streak to 6 in a row and move to 5-0-1 in the last 6. I think it should have been a a Carolina throw. And it doesn't matter because the final whistle blows and Carolina Ascent have done it again. Victorious 2-1. The unbeaten streak moves to 6. They've outscored their opponents 9-2 over this span.
And it really was Carolina from the start of this game to the end. They just maintained their power and they're imposing their will onto this game. It got a little bit chippy towards the end of it, but they didn't let that affect their mindset after that goal was scored. Credit to Tampa. They did everything that they could to try to get a goal back in this game, but it was a little bit too late. And Carolina moves to 6 unbeaten.
When we come back, we'll wrap things up for you from Tampa Bay. A hard-fought battle between Tampa Bay and Carolina. Back from the Sunshine State after this.
Fans, all corner kicks by your Tampa Bay Sun are powered by the Baldwin Group. Tonight, we witnessed 8 corner kicks. Thanks once again to the Baldwin Group for their support of the Tampa Bay Sun. Sun Nation, your Tampa Bay Sun tallied 4 shots on goal in tonight's match, which means the Suncoast Credit Union will be donating $800 to Blake High School's Alumni Athletic Booster Club. Give it up for Suncoast Credit Union and your Tampa Bay Sun. Hotel and Casino Tampa is the proud entertainment partner of the Tampa Bay Sun. Anyone can win at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tampa.
Fans, make sure you tune in to Peacock to catch all of your Gainbridge Super League games as our next home match will be right here at Suncoast Credit Union Field April 11th when we take on DC Power FC. You can catch all home and away games on Peacock. Tonight we welcome our participants for post-match penalty kicks. And Sun Nation, thank you for being with us tonight and bringing the energy here once again at Suncoast Credit Union Field. We hope you guys had an amazing time celebrating our spring fling and cheering on your Tampa Bay Sun. The fun doesn't stop here, though. Make plans to join us back here for our next home match on April 11th. That's this coming Saturday as we celebrate Youth Sports Night and take on DC Power FC. Expect great soccer, fun fan activations, and a perfect spring night with your Tampa Bay Sun family. Mark your calendars, grab your friends. We'll see you back here April 11th. Thank to all of our partners. We thank you for your support as you guys help make this experience incredible for our fans.
Welcome back to Tampa Bay. Carolina moves its unbeaten streak to 6 in a row. They moved to 5-0-1 over the last 6 with a 2-1 win over the Sun. Josh Rappel, Jade Barquette with you as we take a look back at our match highlights. Both goals for Carolina coming in the first half.
It really was Carolina. After that first 15 minutes, Shea Groom gets yanked on the arm by Gaillard. You see it right there. And then Jill Aguilera, the captain for this team, steps up to the spot and delivers a beautiful goal with her left foot. What a PK strike. Beats Beardsley to that right side. And then it didn't stop there. They capitalized on the extra time, and Tyler Lucy just puts this ball across the face of net. And all Lily Nabet has to do is just poke it back in. She made sure everybody knew she hit it with that shoulder, just in case there was some discrepancy, but then they just continued to add on in that second half. We didn't know how Tampa was going to come out, if they were going to switch gears, but the patience in which Carolina built up to this goal that was eventually called off by Mackenzie George. What a strike this was.
Took a highlight reel goal away.
It really was, and well, I'm still confused how that one was offsides, but Mackenzie George just tried to find the back of the net to make that one 3-0. It stayed 2-0, and this is where Tampa Bay Sun, you never want to poke the bear because they can come back into this game. Parsons, the sub, just juked her defender. Butler had no idea where the ball went, and then this one into the back of the net. A beautiful finish, but it was not enough for Tampa Bay to secure 1 or 3 points today. It all goes to Carolina.
Carolina victorious, and now we're joined by their captain, Jill Aguilera. And Jill, congratulations on the win. What did it take to get this one done with that late pressure in the second half?
Yeah, I think it was a huge team effort. You know, it's really hot out here, and I think it was just one touch at a time, one clearance at a time, just trusting each other and a lot of communication.
You guys are now unbeaten in the last 6 games. What's it going to take just to continue this momentum towards the end of the season?
Yeah, I think it's just continuing the path that we've been going on. Again, like I said, trusting each other, communicating with each other, trusting what the coaches tell us, trusting the game plan, and then going out there and doing our best to execute that.
All right, Jill, it is Easter, and I have an Easter-themed question for you. We were talking about it on the broadcast. Are you a fan of Peeps?
I am not a fan of Peeps.
Yay,
3 for 3 on the broadcast.
Let's go. 3 for 3.
Well, we appreciate you joining us, Jill. Congratulations on the win. Happy Easter, and enjoy this with your teammates. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Happy Easter.
Thank you to Jill Aguilera, the Carolina captain. This stat sheet is packed. Both teams in double digits in shots, possession about even, shots on target, 2 in favor of Carolina. They deserve more than the 2 goals, so they deserve the 3 points, but Tampa Bay made it interesting in the end.
I really don't feel like these stats tell the story of the game and how it truly went. Possession fairly even, but it really looked like Carolina Ascent had most of it for the game, and Tampa Bay, towards the end, they tried to get more shots. Those shots on target less than, so they didn't allow them to really have a clear opportunity on net. But the offsides and the yellow cards in this game, trying to stretch the field, but also an aggressive battle between these two.
Yeah, we saw it get chippy at the end as well. One more look at the standings as they sit now, and you look at Lexington and Carolina. 4 points separate those two teams. Lexington, of course, does have the 1 game in hand, but a massive showdown next Saturday, 7 o'clock, Carolina at home against Lexington, 2 versus 3 in the table.
Keep your eyes on that game. It's going to be interesting.
That'll do it for us here from Tampa Bay. The kids were out on this Easter Sunday. 2 goals in the first half, enough for Carolina to move its unbeaten streak to 6 in a row and end Tampa Bay's 2-game winning streak. For our producer, Maria Ringo, my broadcast partner, Jade Barquette, this is Josh Appel saying so long and happy Easter. We'll talk to you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.